Guns, robberies, kidnappings and murders. A sad year for Trinidad and Tobago once more as the uncontrollable crime wave that has kept this country under siege for almost a decade now continued. The year in crime caused us to pause and wonder what's really going on in TNT and when will it stop, if ever.
Bang, 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 we shoot him down.
If anyone hoped that 2009 would have seen a reduction in crime, well, there was a reduction in the number of murders, but not the overall crime figure. As it's been since 2000, there was no letting up in violent crimes this year. High levels of violent robberies, rapes, drug trafficking, gang violence, and brutal murders were the order of the day. Trinidad and Tobago witnessed the introduction of a somewhat new crime to its shores, that of human trafficking, which many say accounted for the new rising missing people throughout the country. Girls, women, boys and men mysteriously disappeared, especially when traveling to go home, like little Leah Lamy, who went missing in February and remains missing to date. In fact, the fear that children were being trafficked out of this country led to the widely reported rumor on March 4th that children were found in a container on the port, a story that led to the Telecommunications Authority investigating CNC3 and some radio stations. But it's still a story which many still believe. Some of the crimes were so brutal that they prompted national and communal outrage. Like the brutal murder of 6-year-old Tisha Henry in June. The Laventille child was last seen running an errand for her mother early on Saturday morning and went missing for days. When she turned up, it was her brutalized dead body, provoking outrage and despair from the community of Laventille.
All of them fellas, I don't know what's going on because I'm locking it out here. Yeah, man, them locking it.
Prime Minister Patrick Manning's comments on the murder did not help, and he had to quickly get the right message across.
In making the statement at the convention, I was just responding to some of the commentators on the matter, who in their usual uninformed way was giving an impression to the national community that didn't take all the facts into account, that is all. But of course, like everybody else, I condemn the murder of a 10-year-old. I mean, nobody could countenance that. And for anybody to suggest that I saw it otherwise, really is just being mischievous.
Huge disconnect between what people in authority are doing and what people on the street are thinking and saying.
33-year-old Salis Mack, a Chaguanas taxi driver, was charged for the murders and kidnappings of Gail Durity, Rihanna Pariag, Sally Lobai and Leah Lamy. Murders also took a brazen new turn this year as the quiet rural town of Rio Claro was shaken when one of the country's most wanted men, Peter Garcia, surrendered to police, only to be gunned down outside the Rio Claro Magistrates Court in October while being escorted by police officers. Tobago was also not spared from the violent crime wave as the country was shocked over the brutal attack on British retirees Miriam and Peter Green. The couple was ambushed by two men armed at their Bacolet Crescent home. Both were severely chopped about the body and face. This country then made international headlines, and the British Embassy issued warning advisories to tourists destined for the island. Of course, this year, police officers did not escape scrutiny, as many were accused of crimes and brutality on the job. In May, there was a massive protest in Laventille following the arrest of Trevlin Harry, who claimed that police took him to the territory of a rival gang and allowed them to beat him up. That matter is under investigation by the National Security Ministry. And again, there was no appointment of a police commissioner. Acting Commissioner James Filbert was instead given 2 extensions in June and December. The murder rate also clocked in at over 500 this year.
Shouting, whoopee, Trinidad is great, we only had 500 murders. I can't accept that.
But what never had an effect was when the government, in my view, they interceded to try and give these people contracts, just be quiet now, we'll give you a contract. That caused a lot of crime, a lot of murders occurred because of the competition for contracts.
Bang, 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 we shoot him down.